Okay, producer wife, question for you.
Yes.
Because apparently I'm opening up each segment with a question today.
Okay.
Actually, this is a set of questions this time.
Uh-oh.
So slightly different.
All right.
Okay. In your opinion, the country is headed for a civil war?
It's debatable, but probably not.
Probably not. Okay. In your opinion, who would be more likely to think we're headed towards a civil war, the right or the left?
Probably the right.
Okay. And in your opinion, what do you think would be the catalyst of said civil war?
I'm not sure, because there could be a lot of things.
Well, name a couple.
The economy, continual like stripping of our freedoms and our rights, continued influx of illegals from the standpoint that, the people who are opposed to it feel that it's making the economy worse, and, it's
Okay.
just feeding into those things. Those would be a couple of them.
Okay. Well, in just a moment, we're going to discuss something that doesn't match up one iota with anything you just gave me.
Okay.
So it'll be perfect.
All right.
All right, I'm Dan, she's Beth. Hi.
Hi.
This is the Soule of Wisdom. You can find us online at soulewisdom.com, SOULE wisdom.com. We encourage you to visit. You'll find links to past episodes. You'll find our stores where you can shop with us. You'll find our tip jar. You'll find our Teachable courses, all sorts of fun stuff.
You can moving your fist around like you're,
Yes.
Yay! Okay.
Yay! I don't know. I'm anxious today.
Okay.
I don't know why. Okie dokie. If you are
Because you want to open the Lego.
Yeah, that's just it. I was just about to say, if you're on YouTube or Rumble, you can play along visually. If you're listening to us anywhere, even on the podcast side, you know that this month we've been doing the Lego Star Wars Advent Calendar. So we need to open today's, which is the 14th. And we open it up, and I don't know what the hell that is. It's that. If you're looking on YouTube or Rumble, let me see if I can find a matching thing on the box that might give us a little more information.
Does it like hold weapons or something like that?
I don't know. Alright, I don't see a match for this. So we'll build it for segment 3, and then we'll try to figure out what it is. Or like we did the other day, we'll ask for answers. And nobody hooked us up with that.
No.
Doggone it, dear listeners, when we ask you for information, you have to play along. It's required. So look us up. All right. So let's dig into it, shall we?
Okay.
Okay. If you are on YouTube or Rumble, play along on your screen. 2 articles today. This was actually written on Sunday. And this is from the New York Times. And it says, "We're edging closer to civil war." This admittedly is an opinion piece by Charles M. Blow. The Supreme Court on Friday issued a decision allowing abortion providers in Texas to continue challenging a new law that bans most abortions in the state after about 6 weeks of pregnancy. But while conservative majority didn't close the door on abortion in Texas completely, the degree to which it is cracked open allows only a sliver of light. For now, the law in question, SB8, remains on the books. Anyone who assists in providing an illegal abortion, from the provider down to the person who gives the woman a ride to the clinic, can be sued. Roe V Wade has essentially been overturned in the state, and soon that astonishing reality may only become permanent. But it may also spread to other states. A key component to women's rights and body autonomy is being snatched away as we watch. And then it talks about the... Oh, no, I do want to read this. In a dissent Friday, Justice Sotomayor wrote, "This is a brazen challenge to our federal structure. It echoes the philosophy of John C. Calhoun, a virulent defender of the slaveholding South, who insists that states had the right to veto or nullify any federal law with which they disagreed. I found the invocation of Calhoun striking. Yes, he was a strong believer in nullification, the idea that states could nullify federal laws, but he was also a raging racist who went even further than slave owners, who saw slavery as a necessary evil, seeing it instead as a positive good. And then it quotes a speech that Calhoun gave that I'm not going to read through, but basically what Calhoun said at the time was that slaves were lucky because they were still living at a higher standard than they would have been in Africa.
Okay.
That's the summation of it. Okie dokie. And then they talk about the parallels again, and then the writer says, I too see many uneasy parallels between what happened nearly 200 years ago and what is happening now. I see the country on the verge of another civil war as the Calhounian impulse is reborn. This war won't be about the subjugation of black people, but also about the subjugation of all who challenge the white racist patriarchy. It will seek to push back against all others, black, immigrant, Muslim, Jew, LGBTQ people, and yes, women, particularly liberal ones. In some ways, the abortion battle now being waged in the courts is a test case. Can the states make an argument that a civil right can be reversed on the state level? Can they make the case that all the make a case that all that the Constitution has not explicitly spelled out should be reserved for the states? The Constitution has been silent quite a bit since it was written, 200, 300 years ago, whatever, and then it gets into a bunch of stuff that I don't care about. But,
so let me get this straight. It's racist. It's white racism because we're not letting black people kill their babies?
Something like that. We can we can debate that.
All right.
But the crux of what he's saying is that he feels that we are on the verge of a civil war, and he is citing abortion as the reason, and he's likening it to the same kind of civil rights stuff that we had with slavery.
Yeah, I don't even see a remote comparison here, but...
Yeah. Okay. So this from Brookings.edu, and this was September 16th, so a little while further back. But it says, is it really possible that America could face the possibility of a civil war in the near future? It may seem unlikely, unthinkable, yet there's reason to worry about it. And then it cites a Zogby poll that says 46% believe a civil war is likely, 43% think unlikely, 11% not sure. And those who see war as likely tend to be younger, and they reside in the South or along the Great Lakes for some reason. And then it gives reasons as to why this could happen. And it says hot button issues: racial equity, gun control, abortion, election legitimacy, climate change, vaccines, and masks. And then it talks about high levels of inequality and polarization, separated by ideology, race, gender, living standards, and opportunities for education. Different groups have dramatically different views. We can argue that, I suppose. It talks about winner-take-all politics and how, back in the day, Tip O'Neill and Ronald Reagan were able to negotiate even though they were from opposite parties, but now you really can't do that.
Yeah.
It talks about a belief that the other side doesn't play fair. And it says liberals see conservatives limiting voting rights, endangering democracy, and ignoring procedural safeguards, while conservatives think progressives are turning us to socialism and disrespecting freedom. It cites the prevalence of guns, and that there are 434 million estimated firearms floating around the United States. A gun behind every blade of grass, as it has been said. And then it talks about private militias as another possible reason. And then it does cite as a reason why it wouldn't happen is that there's no clear regional split. But they cite some reasons, and right there again, as one of the big ones, it cites the whole abortion thing.
Yeah.
So where this was interesting to me, and why I brought it up, and why I asked you the questions, and I honestly didn't know how you would respond, but you responded about how I think most of America would respond. And that's that they would believe that the right would think it more likely that we would have some kind of civil war. And that the Civil War would result from things like economics or border control or stuff like that. I think that's how the majority of America would respond.
Yeah.
But the New York Times and the Brookings Institute are taking more of a left-leaning kind of approach to it. And they feel that what's going to fracture the country is abortion. And I find that super, super interesting for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's the left saying, hey, you want to do this thing, and we ain't making no promises as to what's going to happen. And we're actually talking about fracturing our country over the killing of an unborn baby.
Yeah, we're going to go to war and kill people because we can't kill unborn children.
Yeah.
That makes total sense.
I think we'll just go ahead and state this at this point. Producer wife and I, yes, we are pro-life. I don't see a whole lot of reasons that there should be a huge debate in favor of abortion at this point, especially considering that there are so many hundreds, if not thousands, of different methodology at this point that you can use to get around the whole idea of getting pregnant.
Yeah.
And still support whatever lifestyle you want to support. So why we need to have this so prevalent is just beyond me. Now, there's always the, well, what about rape and incest and stuff like that? That's a different argument for me.
Yeah.
Because it is such a small percentage of what really happens. But I don't know what to think of the idea that was being proposed there, that abortion could be the catalyst for fracturing the country. Because part of me goes, you got to be friggin' kidding me. And the other part of me goes, maybe that is a reason to fracture the country. If the one side is so dead set on the idea that despite all the ways you have to not get pregnant, that somebody who gets pregnant should just be able to snuff out that brand new life.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a bit of a pickle for me.
It seems very unlikely to me that it will go that far, though.
I would hope not, but the rhetoric keeps getting stronger and stronger and stronger. I mean, when you have Sotomayor herself citing Calhoun and trying to compare this with slavery, they're two different things.
Yeah.
And they both involve a life. And in theory, they should both involve the preservation of life, the ability to allow that life to pursue its happiness, to have its life.
Yeah.
But she was arguing not that the unborn child should have the same turnaround in its rights as slaves had as a result of the Civil War. She's arguing that, like the woman who wouldn't have necessarily the access to the abortion is being oppressed like the slave was.
Yeah.
Which is amazing to me. I don't get that at all. Because
I don't understand how that wouldn't piss people off. That viewpoint. Because,
her viewpoint?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if I was in a family that had, previous generations that were held in slavery, I would think that would piss me off, that comparison.
Yeah, I would think so. Because you got pregnant. You didn't lose your liberty.
Yeah.
And furthermore, here's the thing that never gets said, or if it does get said, it gets said quietly and quickly. If Roe versus Wade gets undone, it does not end abortion. It sends it back to the states. And then the states decide what they want to do.
And California has already come out and said they're going to be like a safe haven state for everybody and their sister who wants to come and have an abortion there. So
they will, I guarantee you, if all that goes down, they will have organizations in California that will pay to fly you in.
Yeah.
And put you in lodging and get it done for you and fly you home. I have no doubt in my mind that that will happen.
Yeah.
So it isn't like it's going to go away. It might not be on every street corner anymore, but it's not going to go away. I don't know. It's disturbing to me that the rhetoric on both sides of everything now has just gotten so extreme.
Yeah.
And now, with the abortion thing now pending with the court, they've heard the arguments. They'll have a ruling in probably May or June of next year. And if for some reason it undoes Roe versus Wade, I'm curious to see how the left reacts, because if they react like this article suggests, then it's going to be a really, really interesting time.
I just can't get over the comparison, because that's like saying the woman who isn't allowed to have her abortion when and how she wants to have it is being treated like the Jews in the Holocaust. What? It's not even kind of the same thing.
Nope. This is how we make arguments now, though.
I know.
We just throw out these extreme examples of something and just say they're the same thing.
Yeah.
But
they're not.
No. Well, we don't teach debate anymore. That's obvious. But, we barely teach math, so...
That's true.
Shocking. All right. I think we can go ahead and leave it there. I just wanted to share that because that's interesting to me, and I'll be curious to see where this goes. And for the record, by the way, my personal opinion, I don't think Roe versus Wade is getting overturned. I think they're going to try to find some kind of wiggle room to maybe take down the time frame a little bit and say, like, okay, you've only got 12 or 16 weeks or something like that. They're going to try to find some kind of middle ground, because that's what the court does now. It, like, legislates and twists things.
Yeah.
So, but I'd be shocked if it gets overturned.
Yeah.
But if it does, we'll be curious to see how the left responds.
Yeah.
All right, we'll leave it there. Next segment in 3 hours. Please do like, subscribe, share, and come back for segment 3 in 3 hours so you can help us figure out what the hell this bag of stuff is after we build it. All right, we'll see you soon. Bye.